Namaskar and welcome to India This Week.
Our top story this week is a focus on the Mulayam Singh government in Uttar Pradesh, whose fate remains uncertain, with the declaration by the Congress High Command that it has directed its state unit to withdraw support to the Samajwadi BSP government there.
Analysts believe that the Congress has so far not taken any precipitous action because of the fact that in case the UP government falls, it is the BJP that will gain most politically. India This Week gives you an exclusive report as to why the Congress has now chosen to withdraw support and what the implications of this move can be for the state politics.
But first, the other headlines of the week.
The Apex Court's constitutional bench, comprising the Chief Justice, Mr. Justice A.M. Ahmadi, and 4 other learned judges, observed that it was sad that the high constitutional authorities have been releasing their affidavits even before they are filed in the Supreme Court. The Apex Court was hearing the arguments on the Chief Election Commissioner's petition challenging a 1993 Act constituting a multi-member election commission. Mr. Session has been contending that Parliament's acts cannot determine as to how the commission should conduct its business.
An Italian freelance photographer, Mr. Gabriele Torsello, confirmed this week that his picture of a woman at a mazar, or Muslim memorial, near Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu was wrongly and deliberately captioned as a so-called Kashmiri woman in mourning in Amnesty International's magazine Campaign Journal. Amnesty International apparently did so to defame India with regard to its human rights record. This instance shows how some foreign agencies have been fudging facts and evidence to give a bad name to India about the protection of human rights in the country. The Turkish President, Mr. Süleyman Demirel, visited New Delhi with a high-level delegation this week. He held talks with the President, Dr. Shankar Dayal Sharma, and the Prime Minister, Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao. The Indian side called upon Turkey to play a positive role on the Kashmir issue and discourage Pakistan from internationalizing the Kashmir dispute. India and Turkey also signed an agreement to avoid double taxation.
On the 28th of last month, the Congress Working Committee decided to withdraw support from the Samajwadi Bahujan Samaj Party minority coalition government in Uttar Pradesh. Subsequently, when the party's state unit president, Mr.Jitendra Prasad, met the governor to press for the dismissal of the state government, the focus shifted to Lucknow. The fact that the Uttar Pradesh Assembly began its budget session on the 1st of this month gave a sense of urgency and significance to these political developments. Already, the Bhartiya Janata Party, the single largest group in the Assembly, had declared that it would table a no-confidence motion against the state government. The BJP's notice and the high-pitched campaign by sections of UP congressmen led to inevitable questions being asked whether the Mulayam Singh Yadav government would be able to weather this storm.
Mulayam Singh is also quite a competent chief minister. He has the support of Janata Dal, independents, and I believe when it comes to a showdown, a part of the Congress party will support him, irrespective of the fact that the central party has withdrawn support.
In December 1993, Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav was sworn in as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh when the SP-BSP combine managed to keep the BJP from forming a government once again in Uttar Pradesh. It was the support of 32 Congress MLAs as well as independent MLAs and those belonging to other non-BJP parties which helped Mr. Yadav keep afloat his minority coalition. Ostensibly, the Congress as well as the other parties were keen to isolate the BJP and consolidate secular forces in the state. However, Congress party leaders allege that the worsening law and order situation as well as the inept handling of the Uttarakhand agitation against the UP government's decision on the reservation for the other backward classes were reason enough for them to change their mind.
The Congress party also decided to withdraw the support to Mulayam Singh Yadav government because of the breakdown of law and order in UP and because no development work has been carried out in UP by Mulayam Singh Yadav government since it assumed power.
The appointment of Mr. N.D. Tiwari as the state Congress chief coincided with the anti-reservation agitation in Uttarakhand, and much to the embarrassment of the Congress High Command, Mr. Tiwari threatened to resign if the Congress did not withdraw its support to the Mulayam Singh government. but the party's electoral compulsions at that moment in time put his demand in abeyance. It was Mr. Tiwari's resignation over this issue on 31st December last year that made the Congress take up the matter afresh. The Congress High Command, however, realizing that Mr. Tiwari's demand had struck an emotive note with the grassroots worker in UP, endorsed the call by the new state party chief, Mr. Jitendra Prasad, for the withdrawal of support. But a piquant situation was created when the dissidents in the Congress party organized a high-profile satyagraha in Lucknow, led by Mr. Narayan Dutt Tiwari and the suspended party leader, Mr. Bahujan Singh, over the same issue this week. However, political commentators are of the opinion that these developments put the party in a dilemma, since the ouster of the Samajwadi party-led government may help the next biggest group, the BJP, to form the government, a prospect that the top Congress leadership is yet to accept. The BJP, however, still hopes to benefit from the Congress party's dissidence over the fate of the Mulayam Singh Yadav government.
Even if we support the Congress I no confidence motion, we will be regaining and reclaiming our government again in UP. And that is also a very, we have considered over it, and it is a very, I think it is a step which is wanted at the moment.
With last year's ruling of the Supreme Court on Article 356 of the Constitution, the dismissal of a duly formed government has now become a complex affair.
Application of Article 356 is no longer possible after the strictures passed by the Supreme Court after the dismissal of the Bommai government. It is no longer possible to use that article on flimsy grounds, and therefore I do not believe dismissal of this government is possible.
So it stands to reason that the state government will go only if it is defeated on the floor of the House. All eyes are now focused on the current budget session of the UP Assembly, which will certainly be marked by high drama, with the fate not only of the Mulayam Singh Yadav government at stake, but also the future course of politics in this, the most populous state of the country.
With the emphasis on exports, there are business entrepreneurs in the country who have been exploring new commodities and products which have an international market. One such area, which experts believe has great potential for growth in the export area, is the field of floriculture. India This Week gives you a special report on how Indian businessmen have been importing foreign technology and know-how to springboard the country into becoming a major player in the field of floriculture. And before that, the other business headlines of the week and our regular Stock Watch.
The telecom joint venture Sprint RPG India Limited has introduced a prepaid calling card for the first time in India. The card facilitates the international traveller to pay in advance for a fixed amount of long-distance and international calls over Sprint's fibre optic network. The cost of each call is debited until the full amount of the card is exhausted. A unique card number enables calls to be made from over 45 countries to 250 countries worldwide.
Rajasthan's super luxurious meter-gauge tourist train, Palace on Wheels, has become Gujarat's proud possession from February this year. The shift in control has been necessitated by the conversion of the existing rail route through Bharatpur, Chittorgarh, Jodhpur, Jaisalmer and Agra into the broad gauge. The train, in operation with the Rajasthan Tourism Development Corporation since inception 12 years ago, will now run under a new name, the Royal Orient, and sport a distinctively Gujarati ambience. In a parallel move, the Railways Ministry has awarded contracts worth 80 crore rupees or $20 million to 4 Indian private companies to run luxury tourist trains on 4 identified circuits. In all, 8 circuits have been identified by the ministry for such trains. The railways will provide all ground facilities and infrastructure, while other facilities like catering, entertainment and sightseeing will be taken care of by the private operator. The decision to open up rail tourism to the private sector is a part of the National Synergy Tourism Programme, which aims to attract 5 million tourists to the country by 1997-98.
Reduced selling pressure from foreign institutional investors and the government move to introduce options trading boosted sentiments at the beginning of the week in Dalal Street. Share prices moved downwards towards the middle of the week but improved on Friday. The Bombay Sensitive Index, which opened at 3493.78 points on Monday, closed at 3638.13 points on Friday.